I'll take that off the screen real quick. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard at Ballard Sports Media, sports journalist at Ballard Sports Media. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Still coughing a little bit, under the weather. Y'all pray for me and all that good stuff. So, been, I don't know, eating cough drops like candy. It's been crazy, but we do want to do another team preview today. We're going to hammer these away this off season. Hopefully, get every team within the Power Four. And maybe if we have extra time, if we are able to finally do that on this channel, maybe we do some group of 5 teams in the mix. So, but today we want to look at Clemson, and I feel like this is one of those teams that's going to be more interesting than others this year. And I will go ahead and say this, because if I don't say it now, I'll probably forget to say it, and I feel like it needs to be said. I'm done with Clemson. I'm done with Clemson. I'm done hyping them up, saying they're going to bounce back, get back to the playoffs, that they're going to do this. I know they made the 12 team a couple years ago or whatever, but come on. They went last year 7-6 overall. The kid Klubnik at quarterback. They lost to Penn State, a really bad Penn State team. Now they turned it around under their interim coach Terry Smith. And we'll look at Penn State some other day. But Clemson, they ended the season great, but overall 6 losses, only 7 wins. It's just not the Clemson of old. It's not Dabo's Clemson. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like, when you think Clemson, you're used to thinking national title or bust because of what they did almost 10 years ago, going back really 7 years since their last national title with Trevor Lawrence. But, when you really look into it, they're just not that anymore. Not to say they can't get back there, but for me personally, I'm just not going to pick them to do anything like that until I see them make some progress. So, I mean, I'll go back even to 2024 when they had made the first 12 team playoff. They went 10-4 overall, um, having made the ACC title, 9-3 regular season, but one of those losses was Georgia in the first game of the year, so it didn't count for their conference record. So they were still able to make the ACC, and they won it. Well, the rules come out, and the top seeds are your conference champions, the highest group of 5, basically the highest group of 5, and we get how it works. But Clemson was, the 5 seed, I think, or maybe the 12 seed, something like that. And I don't remember what seed they were, but they did not get the first round bye, even though they won their conference. And they just did not look good from the get-go in that Texas game. Now, they put up 24 points. 38-24 was the score. But it just seemed like something was off for Clemson. Anyway, you get back to last year a little bit, and you think, okay, maybe they're going to bounce back, go a little further. We'll see. Well, they actually took a step back. They lost close games. That's the thing about Clemson. They lost close games. They had a shootout with Duke. They had a good game with Georgia Tech, 24-21, 34-21 against Syracuse, back-to-back losses there, 17-10 to open things up at home against LSU. And they closed the season out pretty good until they played Penn State, who, yes, they turned it around because they fired their coach. But this was not a good Penn State team, and you lost by double digits. You lost by 12 in the Pinstripe Bowl. Now, you put that aside. you put it behind you, and you look to 2026. And when you look at 2026 Clemson, you have to look at, much like any other team, you got to look at, what do they have coming in? What do they have coming back? Um, Cade Klubnik has been the guy at quarterback. Going forward, though, he's gone. Well, no, he's not really gone. He'll be there. He'll be a senior. Um, but I I would not be surprised, for me personally, if I'm Clemson, I'm not starting Cade Klubnik. I'm not saying he's terrible, but I don't think that he was as good as he was made out to be when he came out of high school. And I don't think it's worked out. You've had some moments last year with Christopher Vizina, who's a redshirt sophomore coming into this year. He's probably should be the the go-to guy. They're probably going to end up, you know, running this air raid type of offense and everything like that. Um, you have some key receivers: Bryant Wesco, T.J. Moore, Tyler Brown. Running backs, and Gideon Davidson is a big-time five-star freshman. Um, could you have a quarterback battle? Is that possible? Yeah, I think it is. I'd like to see Chris Denson out there, who was a four-star from actually my hometown where I live here in Florida, in Plant City. Really, really good, talented quarterback, Plant City High School. Represent, man. I'd love to see him show up. But again, is he good enough? I don't know. Is it a quarterback issue? Is it a whole offensive issue when you look at it? I I think the defense has taken steps back too, but I feel like it's still their strong suit. We have not seen Clemson break out offensively like they need to since Trevor Lawrence. And even when he was in there, he got hurt as a junior, I think, at one point before he went pro. And then you had DJ Uiagalelei come in for a little bit, and he did okay. And then you had Trevor Lawrence go back out there, and then he lights it up. But he still doesn't look like what he was as a freshman, and the way he beat Alabama that year and everything. Anyway, that's a whole another video. But then you got their defense: Champ Thompson at defensive tackle, Vic Burley, Peter Woods comes back, Sammy Brown's at linebacker, Kobe McLeod comes in as a junior. Um, Not really a whole lot of names to know, at least that are well known at the moment. I mean, there's a couple back there. Um, so they still got TJ Parker, they still got Peter Woods. I'm just going off a depth chart that someone put out, like, as an opinion, just so I know who's on the team. But I feel like it's kind of in reverse order. I would think Peter Woods and TJ Parker start, but whoever the hell put this depth chart out put them at like fifth string. So I don't know. It's pretty stupid. But anyways, they got the talent at Clemson. It's not what it used to be. It's not what it once was, but it's still good. You look at their schedule, we'll know more about them after the spring game. March 28th, 1 o'clock kickoff time, orange and white, in Clemson. We'll look at them. I don't know if it's going to be televised. Hopefully, we can find some highlights somewhere and watch some spring games like that. They opened the season at LSU, which they lost that game last year. I think by double digits. Well, I don't remember what. LSU can't win a season opener. They finally do it against Clemson. In Clemson, now you have to go to LSU if you're the Tigers of Clemson, of course. You play Georgia Southern, that should be no problem. North Carolina, I'm not high on Bill Belichick. I don't think he should be coaching college football. I think he's a great like historically good Super Bowl coach, the best, right? I don't think it's working out. I don't think it worked out last year. This is a make or break year for him. We'll look at them down the road, I'm sure. But then you look at Cal, then you look at Miami. Miami's a playoff team from last year. Cal's pretty decent. I would say they hang around 6, 7 wins. Um, when it comes to playing in the ACC, this past year they went 7-6 overall, losing a um, a bowl game in the Hawaii Bowl to Hawaii, but they ended up 7-5. Did not play Clemson last year, so we'll see. But that is a Friday night game in Berkeley. Circle that game. Maybe it's a trap. You overlook it possibly for Miami. It's a good possibility that could happen. I'm not here to say whether or not it will. Um, Overall, the schedule, you got Miami, you get a bye week, Charleston Southern, Virginia Tech, Florida State, Syracuse, Duke's on the road, Georgia Tech at home, South Carolina. I don't know what to make of the Gamecocks yet. I'm very high without looking. I'm higher on teams like Florida State and Georgia Tech than I am Clemson, but we still got to preview these teams. Virginia Tech with James Franklin, I need to see it, but I feel like they got their guy. They're going to turn it around. Syracuse could be good. Duke could be good. Um, there's there's more wins than losses. I'm going to say they lose to LSU. They'll beat Georgia Southern. North Carolina, they might beat. I'll give them the Cal game, but it could be a trap. It could be pretty tricky there. Um, so what are we at? I mean, 3-1 with the LSU loss. I'm gonna say I feel like this is the game to circle outside of that LSU game. If you want to see how good Clemson's going to be after the first month of the season, when they start October play, watch the Miami game. Watch what they do against the team that made the national title last year. Now, Miami's got some pieces to replace too. They might be rebuilding, but this should still bring back enough to to basically compete. Charleston Southern, no problem. Virginia Tech, if it was last year, I'd say no problem. They do have a new head coach, and it's James Franklin, who did a lot of good things for Penn State, just could never get over the hump of beating Michigan, Ohio State on a regular basis, and only made the playoffs one time. Now, he did make it just shy of a national championship appearance. But this last year, they cut ways. They didn't have the best of seasons, and we'll see what he can do with the Hokies. Overall, I think it sets up great for Clemson in 2026. I'm just going to be honest. Without giving you straight up the losses, because I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm going to stick to 7-5 though for my record prediction. I don't think they're going to make an ACC title. I don't know who's going to win the ACC. I like teams like Duke. I like Georgia Tech. It wouldn't shock me if Clemson does better than 7-5, but I really feel like they're hanging around what they had last year. I just don't see much improvement, at least this next season. Maybe it's a struggle to start, but then you get better as the season goes on. But it's just the strength of the schedule. Because I'll admit, I know we used to make fun of the ACC. Well, the ACC is beefed up with teams like Florida State as of last year. What Brent Key's doing at Georgia Tech, I think Syracuse is looking good. You got mystery teams out there like Virginia Tech. You got Manny Diaz at Duke. So I don't know, but I got them at 7-5. If I had to pick losses, I mean, I think they're going to lose to LSU. That's at least one. I think they get North Carolina. Cal is kind of a mystery. I don't know how they're going to be this year. I think they'll lose to Miami. I'm going to give them a loss back to back here with Florida State, Syracuse, that's 4, and Georgia Tech. But I do think that'll be 5 losses. I do think they could turn it around late, play some close games, even if they are losses like Syracuse or Tech, but they'll be good enough to where maybe they're motivated to win out and they hit Duke and they hit South Carolina and secure bowl eligibility with those 2 wins, maybe get 7 on the year. This is my 2 cents, my opinion on Clemson this year. Again, sorry for the voice, a little under the weather, trying to get healthy, trying to get better. There, don't take me out of the Slob Olympics just yet. By the way, that's something too. I'm going to promote that real quick. If y'all get a chance, come join us in 2026, March 13th through the 15th, the 2026 Slob Olympics, where we get together as YouTubers. Uncle Lou, Pigskin Pete host it. VicTube probably going to be there. Nate the Great. I'll be there with my mom, and we'll get together and we'll have fun and compete and try to win the Slav Olympics trophy. And really, just a good excuse to get off the screens for a weekend and just hang out, have a lot of fun. We do it on location every year. Last year was a cruise. We've done it in Panama City. They've done it in Isle of Palms. I've been the last 2 years, and that's it. But I've loved it every time, and it's something to make a tradition now. So y'all come join us in Nashville, Tennessee. Book your hotel wherever you want to stay. We'll be at the Vanderbilt Hilton Garden Inn in downtown. So, but y'all come check it out, and can't wait to see you guys. Love y'all. I'm gonna get some rest and go to work too, and hopefully I get to feeling better. So, I love y'all. God bless, and drop your comments down below on Clemson. We'll see you.